Peace, 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 everybody. We about to get started in like 2 minutes. Peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. Okay, peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, good night, Lee. Good night. Good night. Shout out to Fahima in the building. Shout out to Visionary in the building. You already know. RBG BYB. Shout out to Lee D. Clinton in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to 3 in the building. Shout out, everybody. You said no audio. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Put 1 in the comment section if y'all can hear me. Put 1 in the comment section if y'all can hear me. Because you said you can't hear me. So, let me see something. Put 1 in the comment section. All right, so I'm getting some 1s. People can hear me. Okay, cool. We about to get started. Shout out to everybody in the building. I know I haven't been here for a long time. You know, I got a lot going on, but you know, I'm here now. So we're going to just try to cover as much stuff as we can. Shout out to everybody in the building. I want to start the show off with something. This is like some bad news, but it's like it has to get covered. It's like really sad, and it shows that, you know, as we already know, that they don't value Black life like that. Because as you can see on my screen, this is a story of something that happened in Brooklyn. Very sad, very sad, very sad. Yes, hit the like button, everybody. Hit the like button. I'm just going to let them come in and just explain what happened. Yeah, this is very sad.
The jury started deliberating late last Tuesday. Now, finally, today, they did reach a unanimous verdict. They acquitted 20-year-old Dmitry Popov of the most serious charges, which were murder, but they did find him guilty of manslaughter as a hate crime. Now, they also found him guilty of menacing, criminal possession of a weapon, and aggravated assault. Popov was also facing 2 counts of murder in the second degree as a hate crime and 1 count of murder in the second degree. Now, the jury found him not guilty of those. This verdict comes 3 years after 28-year-old O'Shea Sibley was stabbed to death by Popov, who was just 17 years old at the time. Sibley and his friends, who were all performing artists, were coming back from a day at the beach and started dancing at a gas station in Midwood when Popov and his friends started yelling homophobic and racist slurs, and now things escalated from there. Now, when the juror read this not guilty to those murder charges, Popov's mother broke down in tears of relief. Across the aisle, though, O'Shea Sibley's friends gasped in disbelief. I spoke to...
Yeah, I got to pause it right there, because as y'all heard, which is disgusting. Y'all heard that. Completely disgusting. So let me get this straight. You had some random people just sitting around. You approached a bunch of random people with a weapon on you and started antagonizing them, calling them racial slurs, calling them homophobic slurs, and you called your friends over to help you, and then y'all attacked the person, stabbed them multiple times, and killed him. But somehow, some way, that wasn't murder. Man, because remember, manslaughter means I killed you by mistake. Stabbing somebody multiple times with a knife and then they die is not a mistake. That's not a mistake. And as we just saw with Carmelo Anthony, stabbed the person 1 time, and the person was the aggressor. The person was the one approaching him. He gets convicted of murder. This dude is like singled these brothers out. Attacked them, first attacked them for being black. Then he went in, then he found they was gay and then started going in on them for being gay. They didn't do nothing to him. He approached them. How do you approach somebody, start a fight with somebody, and then stab them multiple times to death? And then that wasn't murder. That wasn't murder. See, this is again why I keep going in about black people. Stop not doing jury duty. And again, also make sure you register to vote, because I think a lot of places they pick jurors from the voting rolls. Make sure you register to vote. This is not funny. This is not cute. The people who hate you are on them juries. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, they would have got convicted of first-degree murder. Forget second, they would have got charged with first-degree murder and got convicted of first-degree murder. So you telling me you went up to somebody you don't know, you started attacking them, and then you stabbed the person multiple times to death, but that wasn't premeditated? Like, they're going to say you knew you. That was your plan. That was your plan. Why else would you antagonize and attack people with a weapon on you if you wasn't planning to kill them? And why would you stab somebody that many times if you wasn't planning to kill them?
Some of them outside here, they said that while they're happy Popov will be held accountable, the verdict feels like half justice to them. Popov's defense attorney said he's disappointed the jury didn't acquit, that he wasn't acquitted of manslaughter, but he said the family is relieved.
This 17-year-old young man did not intentionally murder Mr. O'Shea sibling.
So look, a black attorney. This is the go-to playbook. You murder somebody, you do something racist against somebody black, then you get a black attorney who's gonna say it's not about race and that you didn't actually mean to do it. So why were you mad that he got acquitted? Well, I mean, why were you mad that he got found guilty of manslaughter when you said, well, he didn't mean to kill him? Isn't that what manslaughter is? You kill somebody by mistake? Like, this is the new playbook. This the new coon playbook right here. You do something racist is going on, you hire a black attorney. And your black attorney's job is to pretend like this racist has nothing to do with this. Or this is not racist because, look, they hired me. And that gives the racist jury the way to say, well, obviously racist didn't really play a role in this too much, because if it really did, why would a black attorney defend them? Or why would they go hire a black attorney? This is disgusting.
I'm glad they considered that and found him not guilty of the murder charge.
From somebody that was there that night, it didn't feel like manslaughter. It was very much murder. So the hate that came out of his mouth, out of his soul, those were actions that someone in their right mind is not going to do.
Now, Dmitry Popov faces 8 to 25 years in prison. He will be sentenced on June 30th. Here in downtown Brooklyn, Shakti Dennis, News 12 Brooklyn.
I'm definitely going to be paying attention on the 30th to see what to do. To see what they sentenced this dude to. Like, I want to definitely see that. I don't know who you are, but I'm about to put you on timeout because this is about race. This had nothing to do with him being gay. Because if he was a white gay person, this wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have happened if he was white. That was as simple as that. If he was anything other than black, that doesn't happen. And he damn sure doesn't not get convicted of murder. Yeah, Fahima. I know, but I covered this case, the case you talking about too. And there's another case just like this too, where a white dude stabbed a Mexican boy and killed him, and then didn't even go to jail at all, claiming stand your ground. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, this is just messed up. This is disgusting. But again, this is why I push what I push, and this is why I believe what I believe. Like, we got to do something about this. We can't keep like saying, oh, well, we're going to take ourselves out of it by not doing jury duty. Because I'm pretty sure with some black people up there, I'm like, oh, I can't be impartial because a black person got hurt. Or, oh, I know the victim. Or, oh, I know the defendant. Or I've been to that gas station before. I'm biased. While the actual racists made it their business to be on that jury. They made it their business. Disgusting. Disgusting. Shout out to everybody in the building. Also, speaking of Karmelo Anthony, let's go to this. Boom. Can y'all see my screen? Is it coming in good? As you can see on my screen, this is a person named They Want. I think it's pronounced Kang. They Want Kang. And as you can see, it says Baton Rouge HTX and it says Haitian. He's saying he's Haitian. He's saying he's a Scorpio. But what I want to show you is this. Somebody show me this. This is a man saying that he's Carmelo Anthony's uncle. So if he's Haitian, does that not make Carmelo Anthony Haitian? And if Carmelo Anthony is Haitian, will FBA turn on him now that this information is out there? Will FBA, because again, I'm going to put this video up. You know the FBA bozos be watching me. Are they going to turn on Carmelo Anthony now when they find out that he is part Haitian? Because again, according to this person, this is his uncle, and he's putting pictures up. I like this post on this right here too. As long as you don't touch me, we cool. I like that. Because that's how it's supposed to be. So I want to know, inquiring minds want to know, is FBA going to turn on Carmelo Anthony now that they found out that he is part Haitian? Are they going to say, well, we already knew he was Haitian, look at his hairline? Are they going to say this? Again, shout out, I forgot who sent me this, but shout out to you. And yeah, family, I'm on TikTok. So yeah, I don't really use TikTok, but you can send me stuff on TikTok. Yeah, but that would still make him, you know, part Haitian. Because if his uncle is Haitian, that means either his mother that's his mother's brother or his father's brother. So yeah. Oh yeah, Lee. You know they're gonna start saying that he a scammer. This is why he lost, or that's why the family wasn't making it about race. Because you know us FBAs, we would have been like this and that, and we would have hired a better lawyer and blah 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 blah. You already know what they're gonna say. You already know what's coming. You already know what's coming with the FBA bozos. You already know what's coming with them. Yeah, you already know. You already know. But shout out to everybody in the building. I just wanted to bring that up. I'll probably touch on that a little bit more in depth at another time. But yeah, let's move on to this other story. So yeah, since we talking about Carmelo, let's just keep going all the way. Right here. For all you who don't know, Charleston White has fell out with the family, which I knew was going to happen because Charleston White is a bozo and a clout chaser. He's a bozo and a clout chaser. First, he violated the family. Then, when he got so much backlash, he had to fall back. And then he had to, I didn't know all the story. I talked to the family. Now I got all the story. So now I'm pro Carmelo. Now he's dissing the family again. So let's see what he got to say. This is brought to you by the cornball O'Shea Duke Jackson. Cornball reporting on the cornball.
I was starting to feel like I was being used for my influence and my connections and resources.
On June 9th, Carmelo Anthony was convicted of murder.
So you just heard what he said. I felt like I was being used for my influence and resources. Bozo, you the one who put it out there that you was reaching out to the family, you talked to them, you pro Carmelo and all that other stuff. Of course, the family, if you really pro Carmelo like you claim you are, I if I was a part of the family, I would be like, yeah, use some of your influence and connections to help get this appeal popping. Yes. Now you feel like you was being used. I think you scared. That's what it really is, because you in Texas. And Austin's father called you a crackhead. I ain't see you say nothing bad about him after he called you a crackhead. And I think you probably got a phone call. And you already know how they playing in Texas. These racist white boys. Because for all you don't know, Texas is the South. It did a good job trying to brand itself as a Western state, but it is not a Western state. It is the South. It is the last stronghold of the Confederacy. This is the last place the Emancipation Proclamation was read. That's why we got Juneteenth.
and sentenced to 35 years. And of course, the focus after the verdict was missed opportunities. Karmelo Anthony's parents, first of all, came out and they said,
is there anything differently? I know, Kayla, you said you wish you had gone to that track meet. Is there anything that you both wish you could have done differently?
I wish I would have just been rebellious. I was told, don't talk to this person. Don't talk to this person. I feel like it was just a setup. Now, so they told us, go get white attorneys. Every black person I went to, white attorney. No white attorney, they set them up, pushed them. Hey, here you go.
But it wasn't only Karmelo Anthony.
So every black person told you to go get a white attorney. That's the dumbest advice you could have got. And now you saying that you felt the white attorney that you got set them up. You see the game? Why would you see other groups get black attorneys because they try to make it seem like it's not about race and it works out for them? While when black people get white attorneys to try to make it seem like it's not about race, it doesn't work out for them. You know when it works out for black people? When they get a black attorney. Like how much justice have people who went with Al Sharpton, who's not an attorney, but had Al Sharpton advocating for them, or people who went to Benjamin Crump, or rest in peace, what's his name? Johnny Cochran, or any others. How much legal victories have they won? How many times have some racist stuff popped off and black people went with the white attorney and it led them to like some type of freedom or something like that? How many times that happened?
Anthony's family that had the regrets. Charleston White, who stood up to help defend the family, offered his opinion.
I feel stupid for even calling you, trying to make you believe what I believe. Because I really believe that, fam. I went against my own people trying to convince black people, white people is good, homie.
So in my opinion, the family was getting bad advice from people who have never been in this situation before. And I want to...
O'Shea is right. The family was getting terrible advice. Terrible advice. Terrible advice rooted in anti-blackness. Terrible advice rooted in anti-blackness.
Preface that because many of us, or most of us, have never been in a situation where our child has been convicted of murder. Just think about this. Your son or your daughter does something, whether it's self-defense or not, and it changes the trajectory of your everyday normal life. Your child is doing good in school. Your child is an academic or athlete. That child gets in a situation where you have to move or you may lose your job. And this is exactly what happened to the Karmelo Anthony's family. They have other kids. Karmelo's father lost his job. He was a top salesman at the Mercedes-Benz dealership. They were dealing with a whole bunch of financial issues, and this set the family back a lot. And so when they was raising money, one of the things that they said they needed to do was to move. A lot of people criticized them because they felt that that money should have been used completely on Karmelo Anthony's case. But you
come on, O'Shea, we don't got time for this. Get to the part with Charleston White. Come on. Like you patting the runtime. Like everything can't be slop tube. Can't slop it out with everything.
Kind of gotta be serious here. We gotta think about this. Here's a family who's not making any money, who may be out in the streets. They have other children, and their quality of life has completely been changed outside of their control. However, people were still skeptical. They hired Mike Howard, and then that did not work out. For which Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, came online and said some pretty horrendous things. But he did take a shot at Charleston White.
I'm going to tell you right now, Charleston White, you think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing.
Now, interestingly enough, Charleston White would come back and say this.
I want to say this to the Metcalf parents. If I have said anything that hurt you, I ask for your forgiveness. Forgive me. I was in my feelings, I was in my emotions, and I was in my own.
Oh, he did respond to being called. No. I don't think he didn't respond to being called a crackhead. I think he responded to what the guy said about Joe Be Sorry, because I guess they was going to sue him or something like that. So, yeah, he had to get some act right. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Ideology at that moment. And with that being said, I want to talk to the father, not the mother. When I look at this situation, the absence of the mother in front of the camera lets me know that's a grieving mother. And I want to tell you, Mr. Metcalf, I have no quarrels with you, sir.
He would go on another rant and roast Mr. Metcalf, but this one is peculiar because I thought the tide was changing around here. He's being real respectful to Austin Metcalf. This was the same particular stream in which he called Karmelo Anthony the watermelon felon. And now we're seeing Karmelo Anthony have some level of respect for Jeff Metcalf. Now, I'll be honest, I can definitely understand.
I can't understand. Shout out to Lee for coming through with the jewels. Let me see. I think it was jewels or like sending out for 10 jewels. Because again, like I'm live streaming from YouTube now, so I can see things. So yeah, thank you for the 10 jewels. Let's keep it going.
And like feeling sorry for Mr. Jeff Metcalf. I mean, he lost a son too, and just a human thing. I can align with that. But you feel that Karmelo Anthony is not guilty. So if you feel that he's not guilty, then you must assume that Karmelo Anthony is justified in what he's doing. And then to a certain degree that Austin Metcalf, the young man that lost his life, caused this upon himself. So I just don't get that at all. But then this happened.
I was starting to feel like I was being used for my influence and my connections and resources. When I tell you we raised over $1 million one day, privately, quietly, they wanted to start another GoFundMe. I said, no, I'm not doing the GoFundMe. They wanted to know after we pay for the pill, will the money go to them? No. The extra money don't go back to you. It goes back to the people who gave it. It don't go to nothing else. The money is for the pill. So, going forward, I am no longer walking with nor associated or helping Karmelo Anthony.
Exactly. You was never helping him. You was a grifter. You was a bozo and you was a grifter. And them white people got you scared, so you was looking for a way to disassociate with the family and make it look like you're not scared, because that's what you're doing. You're disassociating with the family, but you're gonna be like, oh, it wasn't because of the white guy, he scared me. It was because the family started trying to do some bozo stuff. And again, when in what fundraiser, when you raise funds, does the rest of the money not go to the family? That doesn't even make sense, because there's always other stuff that pop up. There's no set price for an appeal. That doesn't even make sense. And also, the family lost their jobs and all that other stuff. Like it just doesn't. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Like I'm not getting it.
His daddy in the way.
I am getting it. You're a coward. You're scared of the white people, and that's why you're doing what you're doing. Just as simple.
I don't like weak. I hate weak men. I'd rather stand with a strong daddy like that Metcalf man than his black weak father trying to play victim. Now, son's still living. Hug him, send him some books to read. I got the money. Let's start to work on the pill. Anything else don't make sense. What's wrong with you? So, myself, along with criminal defense mitigation specialist, Shannon Ross, along with attorney Mitch Nolte, we are removing ourselves. Mitch was never on the case, but Mitch said he's not taking the case.
Yeah. Now you disrespecting the father and you shouting out the racist white father who said all that racist stuff and called you a crackhead. Yeah, you're a coward. You got scared. And Lee, it doesn't actually depend, because again, if you set up a GoFundMe for one reason and you get extra money other than that, you get to keep all that. It's not like, oh, you set up a GoFundMe for 100,000 and you got 200,000. So now you got to spend that 100,000 and give back the other 100,000, because that don't even make sense. Like, no, you keep all of that. That's how that's supposed to go. You keep all of that, and you send all that off. He's always disrespecting black people. Do you see that? You see how he apologized to that white man who called him a crackhead, who said all that racist stuff? Yeah, he's just using this as a justification to run away from the case because he don't want no smoke with them. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, a bozo. No, Lee, he said that the money is for the appeal. Like, they said that that they raising money for the appeal. So again, an appeal is not a one set price. You got to pay lawyers, you got to pay court fees, you got to do all of that. So when you say I need money for an appeal, that's the war chest. All kind of things pop up. Like Charleston White is just not making any sense. He's just saying some random stuff to justify bailing on the Anthony family. That's it. He's just saying some random stuff to justify bailing on them. Because what he's saying does not make any sense. You ain't never see a GoFundMe work like that. You ain't never see it. No GoFundMe, no charities, no raising for any causes. You never do that, especially when it's not a set price. It's not a set price. It's not a set price. We're not talking about. You talking about the original money for his court case? We're not even talking about that because they don't even got that money. We talking about the money that's being raised right now for the appeal. See, we talking about what he said. Charleston White is talking about appeal money. We talking about appeal money. We're not talking about that first GoFundMe that they put up that got taken down and they ain't getting none of that money. We talking about, or they got a little bit of that money or whatever the case may be. We talking about a new situation. We talking about a whole new situation. Shout out to Fahima for the fire emojis. Family, if you can't support monetarily, you can support with a fire emoji. Make sure you liking the stream, sharing the stream, hitting that bell, joining the channel, donating to me if you can on the PayPal, the Cash App. All the super thanks. The gifts, we take it all. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. I'm not talking about the original money. You was talking about the original money. I'm talking about this new money that Charleston White is talking about.
Mitch said he's not taking the case. Why? Too many hands involved. They're trying to bring too many black lawyers involved. We don't need blackness. We need righteousness. We need righteousness. We don't need blackness.
We don't need blackness. We need righteousness. Isn't this the problem that happened the first time where they hired this white lawyer who y'all was telling them to hire the white lawyer, it'll work out better, and then it didn't work out better? So now they trying to bring black lawyers into the mix, and now that's a problem. Yeah, Charleston, this was a scam. You're scamming.
So the daddy done rubbed me the wrong way. When I got an email from Mitch Nolte, one of the top attorneys, I didn't get the email. The email was forwarded to me. But if Mitch ain't in, and Mitch won't get in, and Mitch won't take it, it's something stinky about this. And I'm telling you, everybody believe you playing for the money. And I'm starting to believe you using me for it. You want to get the money, but then disassociate yourself from me? I'm here for that boy.
Now, I played this clip in its whole entirety for you to listen to because I didn't want it to be taken out of context. Charleston White is basically explaining why he's backing away. And ironically enough, people are saying this.
I believe Charleston White when he said basically that the father kept asking him, will some of the money be going to them because they have bills and stuff, and asking him to make more GoFundMes, and he refused because it's to help Karmelo, not to help y'all have a new life, a better.
Are you stupid? This is why I said. This is why we going back to Jim Crow. That's why we in Jim Crow 2.0, and that's why we going back to Antebellum 2.0. Like, how stupid can you be? You can't help Karmelo without helping the family. This is all one process together. It's one process. The family lost their jobs. They got to move. People are threatening them. They got to change phone numbers. They got to uproot their entire life. Why wouldn't you make a separate GoFundMe for the family to help them situate themselves. That's the whole point of a GoFundMe. The family got to get situated too. Everybody involved in the situation from the Anthony family is a victim. The brothers, I think he only got brothers, right? You got younger brothers, the mother, the father. Like O'Shea, you just said at the beginning of this thing, the father was a top salesman at Mercedes-Benz. That's a great job. He lost that job behind this. They got bills. People are threatening them. So why wouldn't you want to get them a separate GoFundMe to help them? Especially when you know they going through everything they going through is because they standing by Karmelo. That doesn't even make any sense. Doesn't even make any sense. Benevolence. Charleston White aligns with anything. He'll say anything. He'll say he hate Africans today. He'll say he love Africans tomorrow. He'll say he FBA today. He'll say FBA is stupid tomorrow. He's just a grifter. He'll say anything. He'll just say anything. Thank you, RBG, for the win, for the fire emojis. Yes, 350. Facts. Like that doesn't even make any sense. Talking about, oh, y'all just trying to get money to set up a new life. They old life got destroyed behind this. Got destroyed. So what are they supposed to do? The father can't get no job nowhere. The mother can't get no job nowhere. Oh, good night, Jackie. The mother can't get no job nowhere. The father can't get no job nowhere. They got kids. They under full attack by a bunch of racists, and y'all sitting here talking about, oh, y'all just want to set up a new life. Y'all acting like the father didn't work a day in his life. I could see if the father never worked and was not in the picture. He had a great job, and he was, as far as we just going by what O'Shea said, he was great at it. They asking the community like to help us because we going through, the whole family is going through a trying time. It ain't even that deep. It's not even that deep. Oh, good night, RBG, for the win. I got to make sure I start earlier next time. Yeah, but I was busy. But yeah. Like, this is ridiculous. Lee, you right. They gave a white they gave a white lady $1 million who used the N-word and was attacking a kid because she talked about, oh, I don't feel safe. Remember the other white lady who they gave money to, who got fired from like the donut shop because he was calling the people who came in there the N-word? And she told me, oh, my life has been ruined. Chud the Builder, another one. He get donations because why? He can't get a job now because of what he was doing. And people have no problem supporting them. These people are having their lives ruined, not because of something they did. It's because of the situation that they are in. Because a racist system is trying to railroad their son and trying to punish them for standing with the son. I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying, Fahima. Like, he's like Charleston. Like I said, I don't believe him. Like, I don't believe him. So because he just said he raised $1 million. I think he said they trying to raise $1 million, or they did raise $1 million. Like, where? Through who? Through what? Like, you just saying anything. Of course not, because they understand that concept of support. Like, this is crazy. Crazy. Yes, exactly, James. Exactly. Now everybody attacking the family. Now everybody attacking the family. And they attacking the family to stand with Charleston White, the bozo who basically bowed down and kissed the feet of James, what's his name? Jeff Metcalf, who called him a crackhead and told him, you laughing now, you gonna see. That's obvious Charleston White is playing pussy right now. It's obvious to a duck. He's attacking the family to try to justify disassociating with them because he's scared of them white people. Anybody can see that. I'm sure he made the whole thing up. I'm sure this is just his way of trying to justify not dealing with the family no more. After talking all that black stuff, after saying, "Oh, I'm riding with Karmelo, I'm riding with the family. Oh, I just talked to them. We gonna make it happen. This and that and that and this." And what happened? Jeff Metcalf came out and called Charleston White a crackhead and said, "You laughing now, but you gonna see." And then what happened? Charleston White bowed down multiple times. Multiple times. Disgusting. You know he got that call. He didn't even just get the call. They gave it to him live and direct on the, on that live stream. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter in the building. You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much, bro. Yeah. Like we was just going over how Karmelo Anthony, his uncle is Haitian. So that means he part Haitian. And we're going to figure out if FBA going to turn on him because of that. And we just going over another tragic situation where a black person lost their life in Brooklyn from a hate crime, but, you know, nobody actually did anything. The person didn't get charged with murder. I don't know how we can donate to the family because I don't know what's going on right now with the family with the donations. But it's like, I know Charleston White is not telling us the whole story. He making something up. Because again, where was this? Where could you have donated or anything like that he was even talking about? But yeah, let's keep this going.
Like the parents, that Karmelo Anthony's parents were more so focused on financial opportunities surrounding the case than what was best for their son.
People are acting like Karmelo's father and mother are using Charleston White for them to survive. And I can get why people are saying that. But guys, what would you do if you had problems earning money, you could not pay your bills, you have other kids, and your life has been changed because of something your child did, whether it was, you know, defense or not, and you're trying to keep everything going day to day, you're already stressed. Dude, does the family need money? Yes. I mean, we got to be honest. If he's not working, his wife is having a trouble working. They're probably stressed. I mean, to sit back and think that they're just using their son who's locked up for money, I just think that that's cruel because they are the ones that had him on the pathway, 3.7 GPA. I know he made a mistake. He was the captain of the football team, the captain of the track team. How do we fix our mouths to say that? And again, as a content creator, I got to try to look at other people's side of the story, even though if you don't like it or not. What would you do? Would you do the same thing? Would you do the same exact thing?
Exactly. Like O'Shea, I'm thinking you still doing too much half and half, but yeah, you making some sense. Like it doesn't make any like of course the family needs some money too. Of course. That go without saying. Like I said earlier, the father wasn't no bum laying around or nothing like that. This was a family who had everything together. Everything together.
Would you feel that they don't deserve some level of support? Their life has been turned upside down. And it's easy to say stuff when you're not in it, when you don't have other kids, when you don't have other responsibilities. These people took away this man's job. And I get the concern that Charleston White is having in all of that. But I don't think his parents were trying to get rich off Karmelo. Now, if they stepped outside, I do believe that they were at a sentencing. If they could not bear to hear the sentencing, fine. But them giving up on the child, I just don't understand how that's really true. And the reality is that Charleston White shouldn't have gotten involved in the first place. I kind of figured that some kind of fallout with Charleston White would.
That's a fact. You're teaching with that one. Charleston White should not have gotten involved in the first place. Yes, I think people realize they got other kids, but they don't care. Again, nonsense. Of course. Oh, shout out to you, Lee. We're gonna definitely take a look at that.
Happen because Charleston White is just a broken man. He's not stable. Maybe he's trying to do some good, but he flip-flops a lot. But then to say that You would, Carmelo Anthony's father is weak. You would rather align yourself with the racist. I mean, I just think the guy doesn't get enough credit. He had Carmelo Anthony as a young father on the right path. Carmelo Anthony was going to be at the very least, D2 or FCS athlete. He was going to get a full scholarship or at least partial scholarship somewhere. He was going places. And many people forget that. Kids do mistakes all the time. I know people who have made mistakes and they have cost their family all kind of hell. I mean, look at the situation with Rick Child. Rick Child's legal defense of what he had to do to get free. He changed it's not documented, but I believe Sean Kent said, or the kind of trial he had, it was $500,000 to $750,000. That changed the landscape of his family. They can no longer have that store anymore. Their financial life is different now. Whether we just see he got not guilty, but the rest of his life is different. It impacts people associated with that. So I just want guys to just be practical about this and think of, no, they're not trying to just use their son. They got other kids that got to eat. They can't earn. The family needs some level of help, some level of support. And this is just making them look bad. And I just don't think that they're trying to use the guy. I just don't think that. I could be wrong. I think that if we put this much as far as grace for the family, why not? Why not go further? If you believe that Carmelo Anthony is not guilty and his family needs support, then that's what the community is there to do. The community is there to support them because they have been destroyed financially. They have been threatened. Their kids are being threatened. What are they supposed to do? Stay there and then keep doing whatever they're doing and then let racists do whatever they're doing? I don't understand it. So guys, what do you think it should?
Yeah, O'Shea was making some sense there. We got to give O'Shea his credit. He was making some sense there, but he's still a bozo. Still a bozo. He's still a bozo. But yeah, let's go on to this. Let me see. Shout out to Lee in the building for sending me this. So we're going to go into this right now. We're going to see. I think this is the father responding to Charleston White. We're going to see.
All right. Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. Now, this isn't going to be a long, lengthy live. I just want to give you guys an update. I was put in contact with Carmelo Anthony's father, and I spoke to him 2 times today. I asked if there was anything that he would like to share or be able to say. There's a lot of things that right now, without an attorney, he cannot go into. But what he was able to share with me and allowed me to share with everyone else, he was able to visit Carmelo Anthony today. He is at a place called the Wallace Pack Unit. He went to visit him. The visit lasted for about 2 hours. He said that Carmelo Anthony was in good spirits. And I asked him, I wanted to know if Carmelo Anthony saw everybody who was wearing purple and how he felt about it. And he said that he loved seeing everyone wearing purple. I also asked him, I said, well, I know you can't go into a lot of details, but there is a big thing about whether or not you guys had Mike Howard as a public defender or whether or not he was retained. He said that Mike Howard was retained. Toby Shook, the co-counsel.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we could get that lie out the way because people were saying that, oh, the family took the GoFundMe money, bought a car, bought a new house, and then's got a legal aid. So yeah, that myth has been dispelled. So let's keep it going.
So was also retained, meaning that they were not pro bono and that they did not come on like free of charge. He also said that Toby Shook, the same person that they retained, is the same lawyer that is representing Yellow Beezy. And then he was basically like, he's representing Yellow Beezy. Like he didn't come on board for us for free type of thing. Anything else going forward, if there's any more updates that I can get from him, I will share those with you guys. But I wanted to clear those things up and be able to let you guys know. Yes, it was.
Oh, thank you for that update, Fahima. Because again, like I said, like Charleston White has got to be lying. What GoFundMe is he doing working with the family to get money? And the family is like, oh, you got all this money? Cool. Let us keep the rest. Like, when did that happen? Like, I knew he was lying. As I said, it didn't even make sense. That was dumb. Like, why would the family do that? Why, of all things, would the family do that? That don't even make any sense. But yeah, let's keep going.
The father, I was put in contact with him through the Black Panther Party. They facilitated the call. I talked to him. He was going to come on and say, you know, hello to you guys, but he was like very tired. So I said, listen, I don't want to push you to do anything extra. I understand you guys have had a rough week. And we talked a little bit more about other things. I'm not going to reveal everything to our conversation, but my heart goes out to them. I can't imagine, just like I told him, I can't imagine anything that, like, being in their position, like, you know, everything that they're going through. Somebody said, how can we donate? He's said that he was figuring all of that stuff out as well. So he'll be up.
So yeah, they're not even taking no money. Charleston White is straight capping. They didn't even set up no type of donations or anything yet. So what is Charleston White even talking about?
Updating as far as that goes as well. But that's all I can share right now. Charleston White, you guys are talking about, is ridiculous. That whole thing with Charleston, like, trying to, like, get people to go against him, I believe that that's ridiculous. Those are my words. I believe that that's ridiculous. The receipts that Charleston White is posting up, it doesn't even come from the father. It's like just random text messages disparaging the family. We don't even know who the text messages that Charleston White is posting, who they came from. They're not from the family. They're not from the father. And it's saddening. It's like, it's very sad to see, like, other Black people join in on the bashing of a family without, like, the facts. They did not get money and then not pay an attorney. So those are the things that I wanted to say. I will catch you guys up at a later date. If I get any more information, like tomorrow or anything like that, I'll let you guys know. And yeah, so that's all for now.
Shout out to the sister. Let me like this video. Yeah, all for now. Like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe anybody, like I said, I didn't even know all this. Shout out to Lee again for sending me this. And Lee, you said that that she got to go into hiding and stuff because people threatening her. Hopefully the sister is okay and she don't got to do all that going into hiding and whatever the case may be. But yeah, I knew not to listen to Charleston White, the scumbag. I knew that. Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy they protected the sister. Yeah, but who listens to Charleston White? Like, that's like kind of a litmus test in and of itself. If you think Charleston White is good for the Black community, you need to be re-educated. Like, bare minimum, you need to be re-educated on what is the Black community and now what is good for that Black community. Like, come on, man. Benevolence. It's not the Black community. It's some people in the Black community siding with Charleston White. Yeah, it's some people in the community. It's not the Black community siding with him. But yeah, shout out to Fahima again for the fire emojis. But yeah. I'm jacking that. I know he's an informant. I didn't know he probably was a plant for, because again, if you'll be an informant, especially the way he was an informant from being a little kid and got out that murder case, yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that he agreed to be a plant for white supremacists. I have no doubt in my mind that that's the case. But yeah, let's get into this other story that I did not get a chance to cover. Shout out to everybody in the building. As you can see, for all you who don't know, there was a cross burning in Chicago. That's right. I didn't see none of these FBA bozos talking about this. But yeah, let's get into this cross burning issue. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Let's head to Chicago, where some people were shocked to see a cross burning in a public park just yesterday. And at this point, police don't have anyone in custody. Let's go live now to CBS News correspondent Chanel Call. And Chanel, what can you tell us about this video?
Well, the video here is frankly quite wild and disturbing. Just imagine walking or driving by this park in Chicago yesterday afternoon at about 2:30 p.m. in broad daylight. You can see this video. This is what this looked like. There was a cross that was burning. You can see the flames in the video on your screen right now. And a lot of people who saw this play out were shocked and disturbed by what they were looking at. Take a listen.
It's very hurting because it's just like, even in schools, they make it seem like things like that were so long ago and we're making so much progress, and we're clearly not. There is no progress because it's clearly happening to this day in broad daylight.
And Mugo, Chicago police are now investigating this incident that happened at that Chicago park yesterday afternoon. At this point, they have not said whether they have a suspect, no information on who they believe may have been responsible for this or what the motive for this may have been. But obviously, this is concerning. It comes at a time in which we're seeing rising political and religious violence in this country.
Yeah, hopefully we get some answers soon on that one. Chanel Call, thank you so much.
Yeah, for all y'all who don't know, we're gonna keep it going.
It's been nearly.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it going. The police caught somebody, and the person they caught was Asian. That's right. It was an Asian person who did the cross burning. Matter of fact, we're gonna watch this clip right here. Let them get right into it. We might have to watch some different ones, but yeah, let's get into this one right here.
It's been nearly a week since this burning cross showed up in Grant Park, a symbol a lot of people see tied to hate and to racism. Now we're hearing Chicago police have someone in custody, and that's just hours after NBC5 spoke with a man who admitted to setting that cross on fire. Police are calling it arson, while the FBI is looking into whether this could be a hate crime. NBC5's Rose Schmidt is...
Again, setting a cross on fire in Chicago. And we chose to try to figure out whether this was a hate crime or not. Mind you, at the height of the Rona, if somebody would have held their nose with this Asian dude walking past them, not even held their nose, had a mask off, and people was walking past them, and they just kept the mask off, and they saw him coming, and they put the mask on, that would have counted as a hate crime. That would have counted as an act of hate against Asians. That would have been one of these microaggressions that they was crying so much about, that they was literally tracking black people down in New York for. Like, oh, you argued with an Asian person? That had to be some type of anti-Asian hate. Let us track you down and charge you with a hate crime. You got an Asian dude burning a cross, and now we got to figure out whether that's even a hate crime or not.
Joining us here with what...
I wonder if he had a noose. If he had put a noose up, would we have to still figure out whether that was a hate crime or not? Probably. But if he had put a swastika up, we wouldn't have to figure out whether that was a hate crime or not. Or SS bolts, or Totenkopf, or anything like that. He wouldn't have to figure that out.
We know about the case now, Rose.
Well, Stefan, citing department policy, Chicago police say they don't release names of potential offenders until they've been charged. But from the start, they only release the image of one person of interest. Now, 21-year-old Merlin Liu, a Naperville native who currently lives on Chicago's near west side, admitted to NBC5 that he is responsible.
In the matter of the police, I assumed that they would have just been banging on my door after few hours, few days, whatever. I thought they would just be
especially after those pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at him. He like, oh, I thought the police was gonna find me in a few hours. Mind you, if you had put a swastika up, they would have found you in a few minutes. But yeah, burning a cross, yeah, who knows?
Despite his photo appearing on these Chicago police flyers, Merlin Liu says no one recognized him as the man who built a cross in Grant Park last week, then set it ablaze. In an exclusive interview with NBC5 investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy, Lou says he put a red hat on top of the cross as a way to protest the Trump administration.
While it might be kind of scary that the police are looking for me, that type of fear is nowhere near the type of fear that I feel if this country were to go to ruin because of what I'm protesting against.
Should you have done it some other way?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now he's claiming he did this to protest Donald Trump. So you claimed there was a red hat on the top when you set the cross on fire. Insane. Why didn't you just burn a MAGA hat? Why are you burning a cross?
Probably. I agree. As I've said earlier, I failed in delivering my message, but I believe that right now I'm trying my best to clarify the confusion, and yeah, I don't regret what I did.
Lou graduated from Nico Valley High School in Naperville. While he told NBC5 he's a senior at University of Illinois Chicago, the university has since clarified he has not been enrolled since the fall of 2025. UIC officials are aware of the criminal investigation.
Was it a hate crime?
No, for sure not. In no way possible was that a hate crime. I do understand why it was interpreted that way, and I apologize for that, but no, the intent was not there.
Mayor Brandon Johnson says the symbol had a devastating impact on the city.
And you know what's so crazy? The FBA bozos ain't probably not even covering this because the Asian dude said it wasn't a hate crime. So if you bring this up about, hey, FBA, why y'all not covering this? Why y'all still talking about black immigrants? You got Asians burning crosses after Rick Child just got off for killing Cypress, the young brother Cypress, while shooting him in the back. They would be like, "Well, he said it was a protest against Trump. He didn't say it was about black people. He didn't say it was about black people." Like, come on now.
I fully expect that the investigation will unfold, and whatever consequences that come out of this investigation, I hope it matches the level of not just discomfort, but pain that it caused.
And in the hours since we've learned police made an arrest, we have reached out to Lou and his parents for comment, but we have not heard back. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office referred us to the Chicago Police Department. Stefan, back to you.
Okay. Rose Schmidt with us. Thank you so much, Rose.
Yeah, that was disgusting. Beyond disgusting. I can't believe that. Oh, I burnt the cross to protest. Yes, it was cowardly. It was a cowardly act. Yes, he was clearly lying. Fahima, he knew. Nobody had to tell him that the cross burning would be interpreted that way. That's why he was like, "Oh, maybe I should have did my protest a different way." And I can see why some people would be offended by it. He already knew that. There's no difference if you'd have hung a noose. Being like, "Oh, well, I hung a noose because I meant that, justice needs to come to Donald Trump." But, I understand how some people could be offended by that. Like for real. Exactly. That is something Tariq would say. Shout out to President Jafar in the building. Yes, people love playing dumb and playing in people's faces. That's why I don't do it. I'll be like looking at this like this. Either you too stupid to have the conversation or you playing stupid. So at the end of the day, the conversation does not need to be had. Well, at least not by me. Somebody else could do it, but not me. Somebody else could do it, not me. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all supporting the stream any way y'all can. Make sure y'all supporting the stream any way y'all can. Let me see something. Oh, and speaking of Amazing Lucas, I saw this video. I don't know who this person is. His name is Internet Exposed. I think he got beef with the Amazing Lucas. I haven't watched this video. We're going to watch this together. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see what's going on with this.
What's going on, y'all? About to take a look at the Amazing Dusty, the Amazing Doofus. This weirdo.
Support
he
the
wants
stream,
to call
family.
himself the Amazing Lucas, but if you ain't gonna clean your hat, like, I'm sorry, out the gate, hat is dusty as hell. Watch. Wait till he pop up on the screen. But he's over here crying about the whole Karmelo and Anthony situation and saying a bunch of things that don't make any sense. Let's check it out, see what's going down. Don't forget to hit the like button. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you still subscribe. Press all when it comes to notifications. All right, let's get into it.
So I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Karmelo's going away. That's correct. Karmelo is getting locked up. Now, I don't know for how long, but one thing I do know for certain, Karmelo is getting locked up. He's going to prison. And to be honest with you, I don't think that's right, okay? But the only people to blame in this scenario is his defense team. His defense team is possibly the worst group of attorneys that I've ever seen, especially on a trial such as this, okay, where the stakes are high. This team was borderline incompetent. And here's the thing, the reason why it makes it so painful to relate this is due to the fact that the facts and the evidence were on their side. Anyone, ask any attorney, they will tell you that that's not enough. It's never enough in court. The facts and evidence may be on your side, but if you can't relay it to a jury in a compelling fashion, right, in a compelling narrative, then you're going to lose. It just is what it is. And when it comes to the prosecution, they had all the sizzle and no steak.
You need to be in jail for all that stuff that's on your hat. It looked like your hat is sizzling. Also, why would anyone want to take law advice from the non-amazing Lucas? That's like just what y'all want to do in y'all life?
Okay, so I guess the guy is anti-Karmelo and he's anti the amazing Lucas. So yeah, let's see what he, and now he's like he roasting his hat. Okay, cool. You roasting the hat. Got lint on the hat. You got a cartoon picture up, so we can't see if you got lint on your hat.
That's what you sitting there thinking about. You like, you know what? The guy that can't even wash his hat, who's obsessed with Candace Owens, obsessed with Black conservative perspective, that's the person I need to be taking legal advice. You shouldn't trust him if he gives you the answer to a math problem, let alone.
Come on. We ain't got time for this. Come on. We got to speed you up.
Something involving the law. His bias is so extreme towards whatever's woke and him thinking that he's like this, I guess you could say, Martin Luther King figure, which is super unrealistic, but he's going to be out here presenting himself as such, fighting for this so he could try to get some kind of name. It's all for clout and money too. Don't be fooled. I will say some of it is him losing his damn mind as well, but I digress.
To understand that this kid is going to go away, bro, for defending himself due to an incompetent defense team. And, you know, the reason I bring up this video is because, you know, the judge, they have agreed to include manslaughter in the charge, right? So they can choose to acquit him, they can choose manslaughter, or they can choose, you know, the hard end, right? That's what they can choose. And even in the closing argument, it's a testament to how incompetent, you know, Karmelo's defense team was. Because usually, right, in Texas, I looked this up, is that usually, and it was reported on this as well, is that, you know, the prosecution, the state, they get to have an opening, closing, and, you know, a closing, right? They get to go twice, okay, because the burden of proof is on them. This prosecution was so pompous.
Yeah, which is also, again, showing how stand your ground laws also redefine self-defense. Because in self-defense cases, the burden of proof is on you to prove that what you did, you had to do what you had to do. It's not the burden, proof is not supposed to be on the state to prove that you didn't have to do it. Like that total flip of responsibility. Nonsense. But yeah, keep going.
The prosecution was so arrogant and in their understanding of the incompetence of Karmelo's defense that they waived their right to go first. Damn. They waived their opening, closing argument.
Exactly. So I'm like thinking, like, does he just talk slow, or is he slop tubing where he just trying to, like, you know, run up the runtime? I'm like, why is he talking that slow? Like, I sped him up and now he just sound regular.
I want you to think about that. Do you understand how slow, how incompetent, how like handicapped the defense has to be for the prosecution to be like, we don't even need to say anything. We'll respond to whatever they say. How about that? We don't even need an opening argument, okay? Let them go ahead. Come on now, dog. That is insane to me, bro. That's insane to me. There has to be like a mistrial based off an incompetent, you know, representation.
What could anyone on Karmelo Anthony's side have said? I don't think they have a single argument, actually, unless it's going to be just a blatant lie, which is what the non-amazing Lucas loves to do. I told you guys, he is the Black Hassan Piker. He is out here. He's being nasty. He's using no logic. He got a group of like.
Yeah, this dude, I should have just knew that he was a bozo. Like, come on now. You said Karmelo has no leg to stand on. How about that he was being set up because his friend, quote unquote friend, brought him there, told him to sit there, and when things started getting hairy, his friend, instead of de-escalating the situation or defusing it, he pulled out his phone and started recording. And then when things went left, he deleted the recording and then lied to police about ever doing a recording in the first place. And then also try to lie about his relationship with Karmelo. Yeah, like that's something to defend. Also, Texas has stand your ground laws. And stand your ground laws, proportionality is not a part of it. That you don't have a duty to retreat. You don't have to retreat. And there's no proportionality, which means you are allowed to use any force you deem necessary to defend yourself, even deadly force. And it doesn't matter if the person who you're defending yourself against wasn't using deadly force against you.
Just strange people that believe everything he say is golden, and they just roll with it. Whoever will say their extreme woke talking points, man, they will cheer you on. Dr. Umar is his daddy. And I don't mean that as a sense as like, he was his actual father. No, that's just who he wants to be. Like he has daydreams about sitting on his lap like Santa Claus and saying, so what do you want me to spew today? What bull crap you want me to go out here and say? What agenda you need me to push? And that's when Dr. Umar gonna be like, I need more money for my school. That school ain't never gonna be built. I'll be highly surprised. I really doubt that school will ever be built. That they not building that damn school. They are not. Like, let's call a spade a spade. That school is never gonna exist.
It's wild, bro. It's wild. Because one of the factors that kept on being brought up was the knife. Bro, even in the defense's closing arguments, they try to say it was self-defense and that he was surrounded and yada, yada, yada. But none of that matters, right? None of that matters because you haven't explained why he brought the knife. So if you don't explain why he brought the knife, what does that allow the prosecution to do? The prosecution goes and paints a narrative, right? Prosecution, that is like the crux of everything. The knife, oh, why is it not knife, right? And that's going to stick in the jury because the jury does not have a reasonable answer. We may have reasonable answers. Hell, I think there was one that was even foreshadowed that many people thought that was going to be presented was that, hey, he likes to go camping, right? They brought that up, if I'm not mistaken, in court. He likes to go camping. How could they not attach the knife to camping? That, hey, he brings the knife, he brings the knife all the time, right?
Are you serious? No, you joking. There's no way. There's no way. So he just had it on him because he just plans on randomly camping. He just run off into the woods and live like he Wolverine after he escaped the experiment. He just runs off. He out here just doing that. That's what goes down with his life. Oh, that's crazy. You know how insane that is? You know how insane that is? That don't make no damn sense. Well, he goes camping, so.
You are teaching, making moves major. You're teaching right now. You are teaching. You're teaching. That's what this is about. Like, he sound young. So you young. I could tell like you some type of anime person, but you're a young black anime dude and you're conservative. Anti-black conservative at that. Come on, man. Doesn't even make sense. Thank you for the fire emoji. Family, remember, support the stream any way you can.
Well, I play basketball, so why is the basketball not in my hand at all times? What? I'm a martial artist. Why am I not doing katas like I'm Jean-Claude Van Damme out here 24/7? I can't even contain myself. That's crazy. There's people that have certain tools for their job that don't carry it all the time. It's either at their job or if they have to use it on a specific day, they will bring it with them. They're not just walking around with it talking about I go camping, I bet you he can't start a fire. Show me him starting a fire right now. We're about to take him to Survivor. Start a fire right now with 2 rocks. I want to see you from scratch. Go straight caveman with it.
We're not doing this. We gotta let's go.
Inside, it's area. They were there. What? Hey man, why y'all sat down like it was your spot? This is crazy.
Give us something so the jury can explain that away in their heads because they didn't do that. All right. And the closing argument was so weak that the prosecution just ate it up. It was something along the lines of you can't meet a shove with a stab, especially when you provoked it. Damn. So right there, bro, right there, do we get in a sentence, he's trying to eliminate his right to self-defense because due to provocation. Provocation, you don't get to claim self-defense. Secondly, he's trying to also, right there, you can't meet a shove with a stab. Hey, his reaction was insane, was absolutely insane to a shove. You don't get to just shank someone because of a shove. Bro, right there, that nullifies the defense and everything they say. Why? Because they did not bring about why Karmelo, his response was justified. If you're responding with lethal force, you have got to justify that lethal force.
The funny part is you don't have to do that because of stand your ground laws. That's the funny thing. It's not funny. The funny I keep saying it's funny, but it's not funny, about these weird stand your ground laws where people actually see the law play out, and then people start demanding that the people get charged for murder, even though what the person did is by the letter of the law justifiable homicide. It's just like when that brother got killed by that white dude. When the white dude claims stand your ground, the police didn't lock him up, they let him go. When that footage leaked of that shooting, it was such a big public outcry that the police had to go lock him up. And I think he did get convicted, but he didn't actually break the law. He by the letter of the law, he was standing his ground. But because it was so the response was so disproportionate that people was hurt by it. And it was like, no, this can't be. This is not right. But that's what the law says. Like
eyes of a jury, bro. You have to explain why no one was armed, you have a knife, and why that was justified to use that knife during this altercation. They failed to do that.
I don't think that he realizes, because he ain't that smart. I don't think he realizes, bro, you're debunking your point. You're destroying the defense of Karmelo Anthony. Like, there is no reason why he would be doing that. Or there should be no reason. There's no excuse for everything you just said. Yeah, no, that's extreme. If I step on your shoe, I don't think it would be fair for you to pull out the pew or that thing and get to work. I think that's insane. What type of world are we living in? Is this the zombie apocalypse? Is Negan going to walk out with that bat and start going crazy because he think I looked at him like, what? That don't make no sense. I don't think anyone wants to live in that type of world. But Lucas, the way he acting and talking, he think about that Negan life. You remember his boy's Homelander. Remember what happened to Homelander? It's not good endings for his idols, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what happened to Negan at the end. I forgot. I stopped watching after a while. Anyway, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Also hit that hype button. And if you want to see a video.
That's enough. We off that. Yeah, that was a total waste of time. Like these like weird conservative people, like it gotta be some type of bots going on, because these dudes be having a good amount of numbers, and it's like they got no substance in anything that they pushing. Like it's just weird. Let me see if I can find that story right now. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that. See if I can find that. Shout out to everybody in the building. I think this is it right here. I think I found it. Here it is right here. Here it is right here.
A dispute over a parking space led to an argument, a fatal shooting, and now a lot more talk about stand your ground laws. Meg Oliver is in Clearwater, Florida.
We did everything together, you know.
Oh, shout out to RBG for the win for the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Thank you for setting it off tonight.
It's tough.
Brittany Jacobs is still hurting. The shooting happened last Thursday in this convenience store parking lot. The family of 5 parked in a handicapped spot. 28-year-old Marquise McLaughlin and his 5-year-old son went inside. That's when 47-year-old Michael Draka confronted her.
He was just, harassing me about a parking space, about a handicapped parking space.
McLaughlin returned and shoved Draka to the ground. That's when Draka drew his gun and fired a single shot into McLaughlin's chest. He stumbled back in the store and collapsed in front of his son. A day later, the Pinellas County Sheriff declared he could not charge Draka. Criminal defense attorney Anthony Rickman says the fact that McLaughlin backed up after the shove raises concerns.
And the question is at that point in time, was there the possibility?
As y'all, I'm sorry, I didn't know that they was going to show the actual shooting. I thought they was going to stop it. But as y'all saw, the dude was confronting his wife. He pushed him away from his car. The dude falls on the floor like he flopping in the NBA, pulls out a gun and shoot the brother in the chest, even though the brother is backing up from him. He didn't attempt to try to stomp him, do nothing. He just pushed him away from the car. That's it. Shot him, and that's it. And what happened? You just heard the police said, hey, we can't charge him with nothing. He's standing his ground. Why? Because stand your ground. One, you can be the and let me see. What the word I'm looking for? I don't mean antagonist, but you can be the one who provocateur the whole situation and still claim stand your ground. Your life don't have to be in jeopardy to use deadly force to claim stand your ground. And also the burden of proof becomes on the state. It's not your job to prove that, hey, I needed to do this to defend myself. The state got to prove that you didn't need to. Like this is the thing. Yeah, Lee, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Aggressor. No, I'm not looking for that word, but I'm looking for something else. But I'm gonna use aggressor. This is stand your ground right here. This is the stand your ground law. The dude shot him. The police came, saw the footage. Even a day later, the police said we can't charge him. It's all that was a clean shoot. By the letter of the law, he didn't do nothing wrong. You can say, hey, his life wasn't in danger, but his life doesn't have to be in danger to use deadly force to defend himself. He got pushed and he decided to shoot. I know we can't get away with that, but that's the whole point about stand your ground, about how people be picking and choosing when the law applies and when it doesn't. But as you can see in this situation, there was such public backlash that the police would have to go back and charge him. Because let me see if I can find that other video
of imminent serious bodily injury or death of Draca that justified the use of deadly force. And watching that video, I don't think so.
At least 23 other states also have so-called stand your ground laws allowing them to use deadly force against an attacker. They all say victims have no duty to retreat. Jacobs is left trying.
Yeah, see, deadly force. That's what I was saying. And stand your ground. And as you saw from that graph, Texas is a part of that stand your ground state. You don't have a duty to retreat. You can even be the person who started the whole confrontation. And you can use deadly force when no deadly force was being used against you to defend yourself. And it's all good. That's how stand your ground works. And it's like when people actually got to watch it in practice, people get emotional and then they be like, no, that's not right. That's not right. And it gets to this public backlash. And then that's how people get charged.
To comprehend how her 3 children lost their father over a trip to buy snacks.
Because all my man was trying to do is protect his girl like anybody else would, and stand by, his family's side.
The case is not over. It's now up to Florida State Attorney to determine whether to seek a grand jury indictment. Jeff?
Meg, thank you very much.
Well, that was my high school.
Yeah, they said the man won't face charges for the shooting. Because again, it was stand your ground. But let me see if I think he did ultimately have to get charged because too many people.
A dispute over a parking.
Let me see. Yeah, he ultimately got charged. After public outcry, they eventually charged him.
And more breaking news now, this time involving the Stand Your Ground case in Clearwater. Amy Viteri is in the newsroom with this one. Amy.
Well, Janice, Pinellas County prosecutors now announcing that they are charging a white man in the death of an unarmed black man involving a Stand Your Ground defense. All of this over a dispute happening in a parking lot. You'll recall this controversial case. The Pinellas County State Attorney now saying that they are charging 47-year-old Michael Draca with manslaughter in the July 19th shooting death of 28-year-old Marquise McLaughlin. Sheriff's officials saying he was arrested today. Now, Draca shot and killed McLaughlin last month during a dispute over a handicapped parking spot. McLaughlin had been inside the Clearwater convenience store when he noticed Draca arguing with his girlfriend and shoved him to the ground. That is when Draca claimed he feared for his life and pulled out a gun. Again, prosecutors now saying that they are charging 47-year-old Michael Draca with manslaughter in that shooting death. Christy.
All right. Thanks so much, Amy.
So, yeah, he did get charged. But again,
you have that new case testing the Stand Your Ground law.
Because of public outcry. Again, because of massive public outcry. That's the only reason. And again, he only got charged with manslaughter. That's not an accident. You shot somebody in the chest who was backing up from you, who wasn't trying to do
And more
anything
breaking
to
news.
you. I think he ultimately got found guilty. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, he got 20 years in prison. He got 20 years in prison for this, but he only got the 20 years for only because of public outcry. That's why when it first happened, if this thing that was not on camera and it wasn't people pushing the story, he would have never, ever saw the inside of a courtroom. It's not. Because again, the way the law is written, you can shoot somebody and kill them for pushing you. There's no proportionality in the law. So if you have to defend yourself, you can shoot and kill somebody, even if you were not facing deadly force. That's the whole point. That's why when the law first came out, when they was first pushing for it, people were saying, no, you can't do this. It's a total redefinition of self-defense. And it's just going to lead to a bunch of black people getting killed and the white people saying, oh, I fear for my life. Think about this. How did police officers watch that film that we just watched, that surveillance footage, and said, you know what? We can't charge him. We can't charge him. He's free to go. He stand your ground. He defended himself. Only because of the situation being so sad and this white man being a weirdo. Because that's another thing that played a role in him getting locked up. He's a weirdo. I forgot to mention that. This white dude is a weirdo who literally does stuff like this. Like he's known for being in this area and running down on black people and harassing them for how they park. And like nobody likes him. He's a total weirdo in the neighborhood. That's the only reason. The backlash and the fact that he was a weirdo. If this had been a regular white man and he wasn't like a weirdo or anything like that, he would have never got charged, especially if there was no footage and no public backlash. Crazy. Yeah, they looking for an excuse to kill. And that, but again, the stand your ground laws give them that excuse. I can't tell you, because again, I used to cover the stand your ground stuff a long time ago when I was doing YouTube. Like, I can't tell you how many black people, not just black people, but people in general, died senseless, needless deaths for no reason, and the people who killed them got away with it because of these stand your ground laws. Like, I can't tell you how many unarmed people got killed just like this, just like that, because of that law. Can't tell you how many. But yeah, let's get off that. Disgusting. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, shout out to Lee for the donation. Let's see this. Let's see. Here we go.
Two-tiered system.
Here we go, y'all. For all you don't know, this racist white man attacked the black family, but he messed with the wrong black family. So let's let the amazing Lucas tell us how that works. And yes, President Jafar, it is government-sanctioned murder. That's what everybody knew it was. Like that's what everybody knew it was and was gonna be. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. But yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into this video by the amazing Lucas.
This is called a two-tiered system. Oh my goodness. So this story is probably the craziest story I've heard all year. To be honest with you, someone told me about the story and I almost banned them from the channel because I thought they were lying. Damn. That's how egregious this story is. So what happened is, it's in Georgia, okay? You have a black family doing a family reunion. At their place, no problems. Until you have a white guy who's driving in his car and starts throwing racial slurs at them, starts calling them N-words and everything. Now the police, and we'll get to the police allege that this, all started from some type of dispute. But he's driving, saying a whole bunch of slurs, yada, yada, yada. He leaves. They're like, whatever. Okay, they engage in, high impulse control. Engage in high impulse control and go about, their family reunion, right? Just, a little white ignorant trying to disrupt things.
Jeffrey Kinzer opened fire with an AR-15 at a family gathering. Surveillance video shows family members, including seniors and children, running from the gunfire. Witnesses say Kinzer, who is white, yelled racial slurs at the African-American family from a passing car.
The thing is, this mofo apparently comes back. I just can't believe what I'm about to tell you. He comes back in body armor, allegedly, and with an AR-15. And then starts spraying, bruh. He does a drive-by on a family reunion. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Minutes later, witnesses say he came back in body armor and armed with an AR-15. Fortunately, no one in the family was shot.
It went from saying the N-word to coming back with body armor and an AR-15. Now, thankfully, from my understanding, no one got hurt. And one of the people at the family reunion was a Marine veteran. And, he takes cover and starts firing back. So all of a sudden, this family reunion turns to a little mini warfare, turns to a battleground just like that.
Kinzer was injured when a family member returned fire.
It's a lot of us put our life on the line for this country, and we deserve to be treated just like everybody else.
Now, as egregious as that is, coming off the Karmelo Anthony case, you're expecting, upon this guy getting caught, it's done so for him. It's game over. Like, it's insane what he did. Bruh, these mofos go and charge him with aggravated assault. That's it.
He was charged with
aggravated assault. That's it. This man came back, got a gun. He attacked them, was racially abusing them, left, got a gun and got body armor and tried to massacre them. And the only reason he didn't get to massacre them is because he's the people who got shot survived, and they had a family member who was a Marine who put him down. So he's not being charged with no hate crimes, no attempted murders, none of that. Just aggravated assault. Just aggravated assault.
With aggravated assault and is free on a $5,000 bond. And is free on a $5,000 bond.
And is free on a $5,000 bond.
I know y'all were expecting more. That's it. They charged a white guy with aggravated assault. Now, the news station was so flummoxed by this that they go and ask the department, why didn't you charge him with a hate crime? Huh? Why didn't you charge him with that? Why didn't you charge him with attempted murder? Because that's what that is. These mofos come back to them talking about, hey, we don't discuss ongoing investigations.
Disgusting. Disgusting. Look what we got to deal with. No attempted murder. He shot people. Yeah, I heard that too. And that shouldn't matter. You went and put on body armor and came back to a black event, shooting the black event up. Now, imagine if those people who got shot died. Imagine if that Marine veteran wasn't there. He could have massacred these people. Like, how is this not terrorism? Exactly. How is this not terrorism? Nothing. Just simple aggravated assault with a $5,000 bail. This dude tried to literally massacre a whole black family. And he failed. And they just said, and they treated it like it's no big whoop.
I don't know what to tell you. Now, you won't hear this story anywhere else. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried looking for it because I was like, this story is so insane. There's no way it's real. That somebody can come back with body armor and an AR-15, spray up the whole block, and then get charged with aggravated assault.
And is free on a $5,000 bond.
Do you understand how wild that is, bruh? Do you understand? And honestly, this is foreshadowing. That's what I would argue. If you think the lineage of evil upon them hearing that they're going to be a minority, or at least bare minimum, not the majority, if you don't think that they're losing their minds, they're going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. A lot of these white men, the white ignorants, okay, there are those who are cool with it. They don't care, bro. They don't start none, there won't be none, all right? A lot of them aren't Austin Metcalfs, but a lot of these mofos are Austin Metcalfs, and they're usually, you know, grown accustomed to be in a position of power. And even, you have to understand, even those who aren't in a position of power, they at least have the color of their skin. So the whole concept of Lyndon B. Johnson, like, hey, you know, you may be poor, but at least you're not black. That concept is being destroyed right in front of their eyes. Because once they become a minority, no one's going to care. They don't care if you're white skinned. So what power do you have? What connections do you have? When everyone around you, you know, is brown and black, then you don't get to act like the slave master. You don't get to have your way anytime you want it. This no longer becomes Burger King for the white ignorance. That's what you have to understand. And they are losing.
Yeah, that's a fact. A lot of people are losing their mind. Lee, Tariq did touch on this. Like, he did do a video about it, a one and done video. Because again, Tariq doesn't really care about black people. This should have been a Tariq and the quote unquote new black media should have been doing videos on this every day. And on top of that, trying to get in contact with the family to push this story into the mainstream. Because remember, the story we just saw right now, the last story we did with the brother getting killed in the parking lot, the only reason that family got some justice is because people kept talking about it and they kept pushing the story into the mainstream. That's the only reason he got charged. And he got that 20 years because the family pushed it into the mainstream. Where's Tariq and them to help push this story into the mainstream by covering it routinely, by what you call it, by bringing the family on to try to interview them? Where are they? They're not nowhere to be found. Why? Because they don't actually care. Like, he covered the story and moved on, one and done. But let this have been a black immigrant who did something like this, we'd have got multiple stories, multiple lives, multiple everything about it. I noticed the first time you're hearing about it, it's the first time a lot of people hearing about it because, again, it's not being covered at the national level. It's not. It's not at all. That's why I'm saying, like, if Tariq and them really cared, they would be pushing this story out there. Oh, mind you, the only person from the new black media I saw cover this is Tariq, and he did a one and done video. That's it. He did a one and done video. That's it. That's all. That's all. That's all you got from it. They not helping to push this story. You see? Shout out to Fahima. So he was harassing the black family because they was reporting his neighbors. That's why he was doing it. Like, he supposed to be super tough guy. Yes, benevolence. White people will still have all the power, mostly all the power, even as a minority, because they got all the wealth. And again, a lot of the political representatives are gonna be white still. Yeah, disgusting. Yeah, FBA is a disgusting group because, again, like I said, they should be covering this story nonstop. You know what they covering nonstop instead of this? They covering the dude who played Martin Luther King in Selma, talking about black people whose accents in America are really from Nigeria. It's just a slow down version of a Nigerian accent. They got nonstop videos about that, but no videos about this. None. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if let this have been a black immigrant, they would have been covering this like you never saw nobody cover nothing before. Because you just see the way they going in on the whole acting thingy. Yeah, the British actor. Like, they still talking about that. Like, they still talking about the Drewski skit. Like, come on now. Y'all still talking about the Drewski skit? You got white people riding around here trying to massacre whole black families. If that man who did that, he probably was, if he would have killed that whole family, he probably wouldn't even have stopped with them. He probably would have went on a full-blown race massacre mode. He would have went full-blown race massacre mode. He would have probably tried to get his buddies involved and do a program like you seeing happen in North Ireland right now. They did a whole program. I hope I'm saying the word right, against those brothers and sisters there. Let me see. No, he's reportedly. Oh, he's reportedly a fire chief and he's their neighbors. So he got it in with his neighbors. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Let's let the amazing Lucas finish up though.
Using their minds. They're not taking it very well. They very much feel, as we can see, like an animal trapped into a corner. And what happens when an animal gets trapped into a corner? They lash out. And they're lashing out more than they have done previously, okay? Because before, right, there's been an escalation of overt racism. Before it was like, hey, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any more, availability. Or I'm sorry, the job is no longer here. Now they're getting to the point where it's like, we don't hire N-words over here. Damn, that's where it's getting to the point, because they understand that the pressure is compounding. And the only thing they had to look for is, the model citizens. They're looking towards Asians, like, hey, hopefully Asians will help us. Hopefully we get some white Latinos. So you best believe they're going to be copying pleas from other groups, because there will be no copying pleas from Black Americans. Now, that's why you're going to probably start importing a lot of, Sambo soldiers, from Africa and whatnot, because they're going to need some allies. But the problem is that the lineage of evil has screwed over every single group of people.
Now you got it wrong right there. One, Trump is not importing no Africans to try to shore up the white power base. That's out. Two, all those other groups that white people have screwed over are gonna still ally with white people. They don't care about that. They don't care about that. Think about it. I just saw a story. I don't know if it's true or not, so I don't want to cover it, about how somebody black got caught like selling drugs or something like that in Cambodia. So now Cambodia is saying all Africans must leave Cambodia. How many dead Cambodians did white people kill? How many Cambodians died because of white racism? How many? Untold hundreds of thousands, millions dead because of racism. Are white people still welcome? How many white people commit crimes in Cambodia? How many white people are in Cambodia right now that's just using it as a, for sex tourism with minors? They ain't kicking them out. Shout out to Carlette in the building. No, I didn't see what you chatted to me. I didn't see it. You chatted something? I didn't see it. Whatever you chatted again, because I didn't see it. Like, come on now. How many people again? I just saw a story about a white guy raping a minor on a balcony in Colombia. Mind you, this is the same Colombia that if you black and you go there and they see you got condoms, they'll tell you can't go. You gotta leave. Are they gonna say white people can't come now and adopt kids because we got a white man raping up the kids? White men are coming here raping up the kids? No.
Asians. Hell, they've screwed over other white people. Do you understand? Think about all the wars. These are white people fighting white people, bro. The Civil War they constantly want to talk about. I mean, look at Iran. Look at Ukraine. So you have to understand all of this is having a negative impact on the average white American. The average white American doesn't give a crap about this, we got white nationalism and all this. Bro, they looking like, yo, do I make enough money to provide for my family? Do I make enough money to provide for myself and at least have a little fun on the
No. This is not it. This is not it. That is not what they thinking. Nope. This whole nonsense about, well, white people and other minorities of color are not actually going to side with white people when they become racist white people, when white people become a minority, is cap. Total cap. They're gonna side with them. They siding with them now. Like that whole, oh, y'all fucked us over, so now y'all the minority, now we can get our lick back. Nope. That ain't coming from no Asians. That ain't coming from no Latinos. That ain't coming from no other group. That's going to make them even want to ingratiate themselves with white people even more. Not less. That's going to increase anti-blackness.
Weekend. That's what they're thinking about. You've screwed over your own, right? As we've seen, you screwed over Asians, Latinos, and we already know you screw over black people. You're screwing over Indian people, right? So you have made enemies with everyone. And to be a minority on the planet, that's not a good move. I don't know what to tell you. That's not a good move. If I was your advisor, I'd tell you, hey, you may want to start kissing some butt, bro. You may want to start kissing some babies and making things right with people on your way out.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Because they are definitely on their way out. And you can see by their behavior that they're grasping at anything and everything. And it just goes to show you when it comes to that two-tier justice system that people want to deny. There's no way in God's green earth that this person should have gotten aggravated assault. But you also have to understand, I'm sure many of them weren't even expecting to make the news. You all remember Ahmaud Arbery? We would have never heard about Ahmaud Arbery. Never. They were planning to sweep this under the rug. So a lot of these cases that unfortunately make the spotlight and it exposes, the corruption, then they have to bite their tongue or they have to come up with excuses. Well, we don't talk about ongoing investigations. That's what's going on. But as, them being in these positions.
Yeah. Like I said, with the Ahmaud, like he just said, he right about that with the Ahmaud Arbery situation. We would have never knew about that if people didn't force that story out. We'd have never knew about it. But yeah, that's why people need to force this story out about what happened with this guy. And yeah, I could see O'Shea rejoining the manosphere. I could see that, trying to get that money back. Let's see. Shout out to Carlette. I figured that. Yeah, that would be good. And mind you, you don't even got to do all that. Just keep getting that story out there. Like with more stories where it's on CNN and stuff like that. Like keep pushing the issue. That's the same thing that happened with Trayvon Martin. I remember when Trayvon Martin got killed. I remember I watched it from the Young Turks. They covered it. And it was like here today, gone tomorrow. And I was like, Dag, this brother got killed for no reason. There's ain't going to be no justice. There ain't going to be a trial. They're going to just say, stand your ground, and that's it. And I remember the Young Turks covered Trayvon Martin every day. And other outlets started covering it. And then it officially started getting covered at the national level, and it went viral. And then that's how we even got George Zimmerman locked up and even had a trial. That's the only way. Yeah, so people got to bring more attention to these things. They have to.
Of power and authority, as they start to, go their way out, go the way of the dinosaur, there's going to be a changing of the guard. And who they are hoping that the new guard is someone who is sympathetic to the racist plight. Damn. Someone who is sympathetic to the, we victims, okay, look at this anti-white racism. That's the only racism that's allowed nowadays. They're looking for someone, right? A Sambo soldier, right? Somebody who's going to be sympathetic to that cause. They may not be able to stay on top, but guess what? They're going to do everything in their power to structure their fall. That's what they're going to do. Hey, if I can't be on top, well, at least I'm going to see if I can find someone who aligns with my, with my mindset and sentiment to replace me. And that's what's going on. In the meantime, between time, they're crashing out, bro. They crashing out hard. Now, I would just remind everyone, just be careful on who you crash out with, okay? Because some people have guns too. Some people, in this case, will fire back. So don't act like an Austin Metcalf. Keep your hands to yourself. Anyways, guys, that's the video.
Yeah, that's the video. I got to thumbs this up. Yeah, he did a pretty much good job on that. I don't agree with the issue of white people, racist white people need to be worried because regular white people are not going to be with them, or other people of color are not going to be with them when they become a minority. No, I don't agree with that. But yeah, shout out to Lee for sending the donation through and coming through with this. Dag, it's 1:38 in the morning. Dag, it's late. Dag, I gotta starting earlier because yeah, it's late. I gotta get up super early too. This is late. I think we could do because East Coast Kev is not in the building, so I also to do something for him. He's not in the building, so I think we can. Yeah, I think we could go to this real quick. Shout out to everybody in the building. Are y'all seeing my screen? This is the no black authority, the white no authority. I don't know what this is about. I saw this and we could go watch this together and see what's going on with this. So here we go. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody who's supporting the stream. Make sure y'all giving me them thumbs up. I need more thumbs up, family. I need more thumbs up. If you can't support any other way, you can support with a thumb up. But let's go to this.
Today on the Black Channel, we're going to have a discussion.
That's a fact. I did. That's what I'm saying. Like, I got to stop doing that. Like, I'm like, oh, it's late. But I'm starting the show at like midnight.
/meeting about what do we do and what are we going to do about judicial injustice. What you're not going to hear about is politics. So don't have a whole lot to say.
You already failed out the gate. How are you going to solve judicial and whatever you said without politics? You already failed out the gate. Because the only other way to solve it without politics is to get violent. So are you promoting violence?
Say about politics or politicians, that is not on the menu. That's not in the format. However, what we do need, definitely we need to have a judicial class. Currently, we don't have that. Currently, we don't have any type of judicial class whatsoever. And as a result of that...
What do you mean a judicial class? What the hell is a judicial class? Like, you see, you just like this is the ultimate grift. You can literally just all he got to do is turn on his microphone and just say anything. That's all he got to do. Turn on his mic, say anything. What is a judicial class? Let's give him a chance. He said he's not going to talk about politics, and we gonna fix this issue because we need a judicial class. That's how we can fix the issue or whatever the case may be. Yeah, we're gonna get into this. Let's keep it going. Shout out to everybody in the building. This is crazy. Yeah, he sounded super dumb. Yeah, something is off with him. He's stupid and he's a woman beater. Thank you for the fire emojis. Oh, you eating that? That's what's up. Exactly. A criminal, a woman, an abuser of black women is going to teach us about a judicious class, whatever. Let's see if he could do that.
Complete lack, which thank you to the civil rights generation for abandoning their post.
Matter of fact, we're starting this over. We're going to start it over. Yeah, we're going to start the whole thing over because, yeah, I went on a little bit of a rant up there. So we're going to start the whole thing over. Let's go. We're starting it over right now.
Today on the Black Channel, we're going to have a discussion / meeting about what do we do and what are we going to do about judicial injustice. What you're not going to hear about is politics. So don't have a whole lot to say about politics or politicians.
So you just heard what he said, right? Again, so let's be clear. He said we're going to talk about judicial injustice, but we're not going to talk about no politicians. which makes no sense. The politicians write the law. In a lot of cases, there's the politicians who pick the judges, or the judges themselves are politicians because they run for office. But we're going to let them keep talking.
That is not on the menu, and that's not in the format. However, what we do need, definitely, we need to have a judicial class. Currently, we don't have that. Currently, we don't.
Again, you heard what he said. We need a judicial class. What is a judicial class? What is that? What is that? Hey, I'm Nigerian Jesus lover. Hey, what's up? Peace. What is that? Like, what is that?
Don't have any type of judicial class whatsoever. And as a result of that complete lack, which thank you to the civil rights generation for abandoning their post.
Again, attacking the civil rights generation. This is why all that, oh, we coming for our check and we love Martin Luther King talk, you know, it was all cap. Because these dudes attack Martin Luther King and the civil rights generation mercilessly. They just stopped attacking Martin Luther King, but they still attack the rest of the civil rights generation. And again, you cannot attack the civil rights movement and say you're not attacking Martin Luther King. Dr. Martin Luther King, excuse me.
The civil rights generation completely abandoned their post. And as a result of that absolute negligence, create a situation where there's nobody to mount a reasonable defense against the vicious white supremacist offense. That's the bottom line. Because without that being available, they are taking full advantage of the fact that there's nobody defending anything. That's the issue. Without any type of reasonable defense, you're experiencing what you're experiencing right now. And I want that to sink in. I want that to sink in. I want that to sink in. I want you to see all the white supremacists doing their victory lap, celebrating injustice. I don't want to hide that from you. I want that to sink in. I want the pain and the discomfort and the humiliation. I want that to sink in. I want it to be real to you. I don't want it to be something you see happening to somebody over there. I want that to be something that you internalize. I want it to be that. I want it to be undeniable. I want it to hurt.
You're babbling right now, so let's speed you up. You are babbling. Like, come on, let's go.
I don't want it to sting. I want it to be agonizing. I want it to be agonizing, undeniable, and inescapable. That's what I want it to be. I want it to be that. Because that's the only thing that gets people's attention, unfortunately. For most people, that's the only thing that gets their attention and keeps their attention is when it hurts so much that it completely disrupts everything else and wipes everything else that they were distracting themselves with off the table. And maybe, just maybe, we're there now. Maybe. We're in big trouble. We are in big trouble. And of all the things I could use to illustrate how bad the situation is and how screwed up it is and how badly previous generations and factions have mismanaged this and gotten us into, I can't think of anything that sums it up better than what you're seeing on your screens here right now. We did this before. I want folks to see this.
So the people who said they don't care about Trump winning, they're not scared of Trump. They're not scared of Jim Crow 2.0. They not worried. Trump ain't gonna hurt us. Now he's talking about all this pain black people are suffering, and like, oh, that's a good thing. It's a good thing you suffering pain, because we want you to make sure you got your mind right. And it's actually the civil rights generation's fault, because they abandoned us. Now let's see what he's gonna do.
I want you all to see this if you hadn't seen it before. I want you to see about this. Clowns. This is the clown show. And I said that. You have your HBCUs, and this is the damn clown show. Instead of your young black manhood being prepared to combat this evil, demonic white supremacist system, they are instead being groomed by suspect individuals and their clown-ass, coon-ass families, I said it, to focus on being the damn minstrel show. while these other folks are working on tech incubators and coming out with billions of dollars of value.
How dare you attack HBCUs? And how dare you attack sororities and fraternities? They have done way more for the black community than anybody in this so-called new black media. Nonsense. Like, come on now. Done way more. They always trying to pass the buck and blame somebody else. Don't you think some of this pain is due to y'all telling black people for years that voting doesn't matter? Asians don't vote. All we got to do is focus on the economy, or, oh, let's make the Democrats lose to teach them a lesson. Don't you think all that talk y'all been doing for like a decade or two play a role in this? Now you attacking HBCUs? Come on now. Ridiculous. You see something. Yes, it is disgusting. That's why I never liked these people, because they always attack the civil rights generation. Like, oh, the civil rights generation. These are people who put their life on the line every day, day in, day out. These are people who watch people die around them, watch people get beaten, brutalized, get ripped apart by dogs, fire hydrants, house fire bombs, churches firebombed, everything. People being lynched, and they kept fighting to give us all the opportunity we have today. And people like this bozo just threw it away. They threw it away. That's why I always keep saying, what was it for? What was all that sacrifice, all that pain, all that fighting, all that stuff for? What was it for? Just for people to just throw it away. To just throw it away. Shout out to your family, Carlette. Shout out to your parents. But yeah, what was it all for? For bozos to come around like this and tell people to just throw it all away. Throw it all away. What does it matter? Throw it away.
This is the mindset that they are encouraging with your young black males at your HBCUs. You've removed the white supremacist influence, and you're teaching them to be entertaining instead of empowering. You're teaching them that in order for them to be accepted by you, that this is what they have to focus on. This is how you end up with god-awful lowlives like Mark Lamont Hill and Roland Martin and Michael Eric Dyson and the rest of the stinking.
Oh, that just reminded me. Mark Lamont Hill has been going on a full throat baby tour for FBA. Thank you. He just reminded me about that. Yeah. Before I leave, we're going to touch. Matter of fact, I might save that for tomorrow. Mark Lamont Hill out here giving throat babies to FBA. And look how FBA is using him as a punchline. Totally broken.
These weaklings and effete individuals, this is what they focus on. But the real crime are all the clowns and coons in the stands cheering it on. They should be booing. They should be throwing their drinks. They should be throwing rotten fruit. And it should be clear to everyone while they're wearing their Marquis de Sade, all eyes wide shut masks, by the way. They got them fully groomed for Epstein Island. And teaching them that this is what they need to focus on. And meanwhile, as soon as you walk your ass outside that door, this is where you end up helpless in the jaws and in the grip of the beast. I want to say this to all of my members of every generation that is listening to me here right now. I said this 2 decades ago, and I say it again. Brothers and sisters from around the world, we all we got. And by we, I'm referring to intelligent black society. We're all we got. The coons of the civil rights generation, at this point, they simply want a peaceful death, which is what I've warned you about forever. They're not backing nothing up. Them niggas sold their souls a long damn time ago, and now all they want's a peaceful death, even if that means selling you out. They do it gladly. Selling you out, like the African slave traders, selling you out, putting you on the boat. At least now they don't have to hear the noise anymore. When we talk about subhuman bastards, you have to include them. The Negro collaborator has to be included in that number. You have no backup from the so-called talented tenth. The talented tenth were a bunch of liars. Even if the intention was good, they were liars. Let me go ahead and give one warning here. By the way, anybody who says that there's an issue with the streaming, that's on your end. So if you say that, this is your first and only warning. You'll be removed because you get white supremacists who try to come in and disrupt. If you say there's a problem with the stream, you're going to be removed. And today I'm removing people permanently. So if you say there's an issue with it, just understand, oh, I'm just going to ban you. I don't even have mods here today. I don't need them. I'm just going to ban you. So that happens. By the way, let me go ahead and ban this person already. So let me go ahead and do them. If anybody else would like to give a false announcement about the stream, by all means.
So somebody say that the stream is not working for them. That's them being disruptive. Like, Instead of just saying, well, it's working for me, or well, hit the reset, you're just gonna ban them because they're being disruptive. Corny. Shout out to AZ in the building. But as you heard, he's making up going on a whole tangent, blaming everybody else for what? For what? Well, like, what are you blaming the HBCUs for? Talking about all we got left is intelligent black society. Ain't nobody who follow you intelligent. That's it. Yep. Very, very disrespectful and ungrateful.
We're ready for you. So, anybody else who'd like to join them in the shadow realm, step forward. As I was saying, you don't have any backup from any of these people. You don't have backup from the so-called talented 10th, the Byron Allens. The Byron Allens, I've warned you forever. I'm just going to call it for what it is because, you see, I know these folks. Most of these people, brothers and sisters, most of them, their only goal was to get them a white woman. I got to say it straight, no chaser. Their only goal was to get them a white woman and to be able to go off on the cocktail circuit and to rub elbows and be big wigs among the white businesses, the white academia, the white schools, the white politicians, the white moguls that they had read about. The ones they had read about in magazines and the ones they had seen on television. Their only goal was to get their weight up good enough so that they could stand with those people. And yes, their primary goal was interracial sexual access. And they would attempt to use black people as their base and their foundation to put social pressure on these white entities to let them in. Once they had their entrance, then they were done with black folk. Mission accomplished. Ain't that right, Byron Allen? You see, when A-Dunks was making their run, I was one of the very first people. I was one of the very first people. One of the very first people to make it clear that Byron Allen was not on our team. But you see, there's the other issue is that there's so few black folk who got any
No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. In fact, you was back at ADOS. Matter of fact, you probably did do that after you fell out, after Tariq fell out with ADOS. Or am I misremembering? I know you flip-flop a lot, so you probably did come out against, I know you did come out against him, but I know you did come out for him. Because you always flip-flopping. But yeah, keep going.
Real capital to speak of, that what ends up happening is that everybody sits up here and makes a beeline to whoever got the biggest bag, never mind the fact that they ain't handing out nothing. So the so-called talented 10, you're not going to get any backup from them. They're not on the same mission that you're on, assuming that you're on the mission at all, by the way, because at least they have a mission.
Oh, shout out to Hood Mistress in the building. Yeah, Shadow Realm. I was going to say something about that. Like, come on, Yu-Gi-Oh reference. But, you know, he just trying to be down. Because, you know, like he try to do the sound effects and stuff. Whatever he see going around on the internet, he just try to do it. Like, he take a look at the internet, or look around for like old slang and for slang and stuff like that. Whatever it is, he take it, he use it for a couple of years, then he goes back around and look for something new to try to update his stuff.
However, for the rest of us out here, the question we're going to tackle today is whether or not we got a mission at all. Whether or not we got a mission at all. I want folks in the chat room to be focused. Don't make a bunch of random comments because I'm explaining to you exactly what we're here for. Have a side conversation with yourself later. Do not expect any backup from the ridiculous, damned Divine Nine. They are the coons and the clowns as they've always been. They are a large group of individuals who never tire of patting themselves on the back and pretending that they are the black equivalent of the white secret societies. That was these low-life niggas' goal from the very beginning, was to ape and imitate and copycat the white power brokers. And what they decided to do was, well, if they won't let us in to be Greeks, we'll just be some copycat knockoff Greeks. And even that would have been acceptable had they actually used what they're getting organized and focused it in a specific direction. But all they really do is focus it on line booty dancing with other males. And this is how you end up with a clown like Roland Martin, whose only goal in life is to get the Democrats to give him a check. What he's not doing is trying to change a damn thing, because if you're going to change things, you have to confront the Democrats head on, just like you confront the Republicans. They are both equally as evil.
So now you're attacking the Democrats and you're saying they both equally as equal. That is not true. That is not true at all. But yeah, I'm gonna let you keep going. I'm probably gonna stop this soon because like you're just rambling and you didn't tell us anything yet.
And the so-called fraternities, black fraternities and black sororities are collaborators. They never tire of telling you about their little get-togethers, though they do leave out the details about their freak-offs. Because you can't be a sorority sister if you ain't been passed around. And if that sounds to you like the sex cults of the white fraternities and the white secret societies, yeah, now you understand it. So you can't really be a sorority sister if you ain't been passed around. And as we're seeing with the fraternities, can't really be a frat brother if you won't give another brother a little something, something. What them clown ass niggas don't do is get together. Let me explain something, y'all. You don't see them forming a black law firm with their so-called fraternity brothers. You would figure that after a damn century, you would figure that after over a century, that one of your so-called black fraternities from one of your so-called historically black colleges and universities would have formed the Morgan and Morgan. We got new white law firms forming, and the black fraternities ain't created the first one yet. Kind of makes you think that that's not really their goal. As a matter of fact, that they don't even want to do it. Folks, that's not an oversight. That's the plan. They don't want to do that. As a matter of fact, they'll discourage you from it because they see their goal of, quote, organizing and congregating together as a fraternity. That's supposed to give them leverage in white society with white corporations and white law firms. Their only goal is to get together and sell themselves down the river now. That's their goal. Get you together and sell yourself down the river and brag about it. That's not accidental. You can't go for 150 damn years and you all have had nothing but constant congregation with each other and nobody got serious about this in a century and a half. And then you have to ask yourself a different question. And I'm going to move on to the next group here, but then you have to ask yourself a different question. By the way, who was it who originally organized the so-called historically black colleges and universities in the first place? Was it black people who organized them? Who was it who originally established the so-called black, historically black colleges?
Come on. You just rambling. Come on. You got like 5 more minutes and then we off this.
And universities in the first place. Because I couldn't help but notice that they don't actually serve our interests. As a matter of fact, they are in conflict, direct conflict against us. How is it you can be there all this time and yet you are failing to serve our interests? As a matter of fact, you're proud to brag that you don't. And then I'm like, wait a minute, back up. While we check in people's paperwork internationally, we need to check people's paperwork domestically.
Shout out to you, Future. Yup. He got a criminal record, not just for revenge porn, but for beating a black woman too. That's a different case. He got a bunch of weird cases.
And when you start taking a look at the non-black people who created your so-called historically black colleges and universities, then it starts to become obvious why they have been so, quote unquote, ineffective. Well, I say ineffective for us. Maybe they've been very effective. Maybe their whole job is to lure you in. And once they get you there, all right, let's start brainwashing you to get you off of any ideas about doing something productive for your people. And let's go ahead and get you misdirected. Which seems to be the only thing that your historically black colleges and universities and the fraternities and sororities that they spawned are good at. Now, this can't be me being hyperbolic. After a century and a half, them niggas should have something that they can show you of real significance. And I'm talking about billions of dollars. If you look up a century and a half later and they ain't got a damn thing to show you except a bunch of moist little niggas booty dancing on each other, that this is what they spent their time focusing on, well, what's their real goal? And I submit to you, this right here, this is the only goal. Keep you dancing, keep you distracted, while the white kids at the white institutions, they're being told walking in the door. Now, you focusing on this $1 billion investment, right? Show me your black fraternities or black sororities that are having roundtable discussions about power, wealth, and influence. People, I'll wait. You want about starting a hedge fund, an investment fund? Show me one of your black fraternities or sororities that's discussed, that has established any of that. They've had decades. Folks, you realize we're like, almost 40 years since Spike Lee's School days? That's not accidental. It's been decades and they ain't got a damn thing to show for it but booty line dancing on each other, just like they were doing 4 decades ago, 8 decades ago. That's not accidental. So don't expect any help from the old niggas of the civil rights generation. Don't expect any help from the so-called Divine Nine and your black fraternities and sororities. Don't expect any help from your historically black college and university graduates, unfortunately. Don't expect any help from them because they are collaborators and part of the problem. Contrary to what the white media might try to indoctrinate you to think, they are not the solution to the problem. They are the problem. Do not expect any assistance or help whatsoever from your black so-called politicians. Black politicians are all fully vetted by the white supremacist establishment. Their entire goal is to...
Exactly, Carla. He's a degenerate. He has nothing to show us, but all the money he made, flip-flopping and saying nonsense. That's the only thing he has accomplished. He made some DVDs and he got rich. That's it.
To help and collaborate, and whether it was Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, George Floyd, Karmelo Anthony, there's a reason why there's always been a deafening silence. Do not expect any help from them whatsoever. They are not collaborators with the enemy. Damn it, they are card-carrying members of the enemy. Do not expect any help or assistance from the old dead black media, those of you nostalgic for Tom Joyner and all of the coons and clowns who are around him. And I'm looking at you, Tavis Smiley. I'm looking at you, Roland Martin. I'm looking at all you old niggas from back then. I let none of you off the hook. Not a one. Don't expect any help from them. They're all looking to see if they can redeem their card to get back in Mass's house. And I don't want you to be deceived about that one bit. All them niggas who used to be on terrestrial radio or cable television.
Damn, he attacking Tavis Smiley too? See?
Television, they are all jockeying for a position to get back there. That's the carrot dangling on the stick that the dominant society has over their heads, is to promise them that at some point they might be able to get their old jobs back, because that's what old niggas value. Old niggas value titles. Old niggas value job positions. Old niggas don't see value in saying what they own. They see value in flexing to other niggas about where they work, who they with, who they signed a contract with. That's where they get their value. That's why they went to the HBCU. That's why they joined their fraternity and sorority. That's why they're doing what they do, so that they can go brag to other people about who they work for and go flex that on other poor people. That's right. I'm working over here at the company. I'm working over here at the plant. I'm a contributor on CNN. Let me go post that on social media. And that's why when white society closes the door on their asses, they immediately sink into irrelevance, which is why so many of them now looking at you, Joy Reid. So many of them now are desperately dangling. It's going to be hard, though, because you see, the problem is it's filling up too quickly with all you cast-offs.
Oh, my God. This is crazy. This is crazy. He didn't say nothing. He's just rambling. Oh, my God.
Don't expect any help from the athlete entertainer class. Of all the groups that bear responsibility for this, the so-called athlete entertainer class is at the front of that line. This weekend, I'm going to be going into a lot more detail about this. But
now you're attacking the athletes and the entertainers.
Brothers and sisters from around the world, I have spent my life broadcasting to make you all aware of who it was and who it is that over the last century, whether it is the Kellogg's Corn Flakes Company, whether it's the Welch's Jelly Company, the Ford Motor Company, in American, in Western, and white society, the businesses fund white supremacy. They don't just make a profit and then go off and go buy some cars and a mansion and then go try to do their best imitation of Hugh Hefner. That's not what happens, people. That's never been what's happened. That's never been the case. When they make a large pot of money, they take some of that money and reinvest it in white supremacy, in eugenics, in propaganda, in eminent domain, in stealing your intellectual property, in creating Fox News and all the others. They don't just take the money and go off and try to be voluptuaries with a harem of females. They take that damn money, they make $1 billion and then go take $50 or $100 million and go invest that back into white supremacy, into programs and think tanks that promote the white supremacist agenda. So these foundations and think tanks that have been going for decades and decades, it's like, who the hell's keeping them all papered up? Who the hell's giving them money? The white men that got millions of dollars, the white men with billions of dollars, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Bill Gateses, the Warren Buffetts, the Jeff Bezoses, the Elon Musks. They don't just take the damn money. Elon doesn't just get some penthouses for all his baby mamas. That's the difference between him and NBA players. He gets some penthouses for the baby mamas, and then he goes and throws $1 billion into white supremacy and eugenics.
Why are you not putting your millions of dollars? You're a millionaire. See, that's another thing. Tariq is a millionaire. Phil the Advice Show's a millionaire. You're a millionaire. All three of you guys are millionaires. How come y'all can't put some money together and get something popping? Y'all millionaires. Why you can't put something together to get something popping? Why not? Inquiring minds want to know. Why not? You talking about, again, this is what I keep talking about before. They constantly attacking celebrities for not using their celebrity money to go to give them money, because that's what they mean when they say, oh, y'all white men, the rich white people take their money and support white supremacy. So what do you want the black celebrities to do? Take their money and give it to you. That's what you want. You want white people to the black athletes to take their money and give it to people like you, so you can go fight white supremacy by doing what you've been doing, which already turned you into a millionaire. Y'all act like y'all so powerless and y'all can't do anything. You guys are millionaires. Millionaires. You telling me y'all can't put no money to help bring about what y'all say y'all want to see happen? Like, come on now. Millionaires. Literally crying about other people and what they do with their money. They never once said that they these super duper pro blacks. You said y'all the pro blacks. So why don't you use that pro black money you got and do something for the people? Instead of crying about what LeBron doing or what KD doing or what this actor doing or this rapper doing.
That's the difference. They're not confused. When they go have their freak offs and their harems, they don't come out of the damn room confused that that's the purpose of life. Elon Musk is a strung out drug addict. Weed, ketamine, all the jackass clowns who try to talk about how great Elon Musk smoked weed. Okay, and you look as stupid as him now. You don't hear them talking anymore. And that brings me to the last, well, let me finish about that. The entertainer and athlete class. Folks, do you realize how many NFL players I have counted up over just this season alone who have contracts that are paying them $20 to $50 million per year? Not over the course of the contract. They signed contracts for $100 million, $200 million.
Exactly. You're complaining about the athletes getting money and not giving money to you. Because again, your example of what white people do when they get money is they give it to groups like the Heritage Foundation and all these other groups to sit around and think about how to keep white supremacy going. So what do you want the athletes to do? Give you money so you can sit around and talk about black empowerment that you never gonna get off the ground.
In the NFL, in the NBA, contracts for $100 million and $200 and $250 million, where they get paid $20 to $50 million per year. Folks, do you understand? Do you realize how much stored wealth you need to have in order to just give somebody $100 million and not miss it? Do you understand how much stored wealth you need to have in order to just give somebody $2 million and not miss it? Do you understand how much of a check you got to get up front to have $2 million in disposable income, in disposable stored wealth that you can just send somewhere, and no matter how it turns out, it ain't gonna break you? When you've got literally hundreds of males and dozens of them are making $20 million a year, and not even one of them, not even one, has lifted a finger to take 5% of that, 5%, not 95, 5%, and pay it forward. When you're richest and most affluent, and that goes from the talented 10th to the sports entertainer class, not a one of them. Hey, folks, it lets you know that they don't let you in unless you have been co-opted by the system. That's what they're letting you know.
See, I was right. He wants them to take their money and give it to him so he could sit around and talk about black empowerment. And now he's talking about, oh, now he's coming up with some Illuminati shots through your body conspiracy theory about how these people only got this money because they got corrupted. When it's like, no, they got this money because they earned it.
You can't be a part of this team if you're not collaborating with us, and collaborating with us means you make it very clear you're here to support the system. I want to also tell you all that do not deceive yourselves into thinking that they are pressured into it. That is a lie you want to believe. You want to believe that they're pressured into it. You want to believe that they're coerced into it. No, they're not. They went there for the specific purposes of selling out. What you see in the end is the final result. And that brings me to the last group of feckless, low-life, degenerate, backward-ass niggas that you will not be able to count on. And this one is the most disturbing. Take a look out there in those stands, people. I had you focusing on the sideshow in the middle of the floor, but now I want you to focus your attention on the coons and clowns in the gallery. This is white supremacy's greatest weapon and white supremacy's greatest strength. Mass distraction, mass coonery, mass clownery, group coon contagion. This is white supremacy's greatest achievement. The ability to get the group and the crowd to be able to follow their twisted program of distraction, and not just follow it, but to stand there and cheer. You see this with their sports and entertainment. You see this with the NFL. You see this with the NBA. You see this in all these other places. When they've conditioned all these clowns and lowlives in the middle of a damn war zone, they've got them conditioned to sit there and cheer and celebrate. And understand, this is a strategy that has been cultivated and perfected over the course of centuries on the plantations. Remember, there was dancing and singing there too. Remember? Under Master's watchful eye, of course. But there was dancing and singing there too. Remember? On the plantations. By the way, y'all, on the plantations, not only was there dancing and singing, there was dancing, there was singing, there was liquor, there was sex. Do you all understand that? For those of you who do not remember, or for those of you who are not aware, on the plantations, assuming that you survived, assuming you got your work done and whatnot, on the plantations, man, look here. They'd have their buck dancing jubilees, they'd be laughing.
Oh my God, man.
They'd be singing, there was alcohol, they'd be drinking. And of course, we want to make sure we breed more slaves for massa, so he wasn't going to get in the way of that. So if any of you thought that that was not happening under chattel slavery, oh no, you're completely wrong. You're completely wrong. Why do you think that Harriet Tubman said that she had so much trouble convincing most slaves that they were slaves? The first generations of slaves understood that they were slaves. By the time you got to the second or third generation, they just considered themselves to be woefully disadvantaged members of Massa's family. We're the members of Massa's family that he don't treat as well as some of the others, but I mean, he's an abusive daddy, but he's still daddy. And I show you that mindset, Roland Martin, Byron Allen, the NBA, the NFL, and all the coons and clowns within, persists to this day. It persists to this day. And the buck dancing Sambo out in the stands, not the main event down there on the floor, but the real problem is up there in the stands. The individuals, the masses that have been turned by these vampires. There's the biggest obstacle and biggest opponent that you're going to encounter. Please understand that. That is the biggest obstacle and biggest opponent that you're going to encounter. That's the bad news. Here's the good news. I've met their kind before. I've dealt with their kind before. They're not smart. They're not geniuses. They don't have strong beliefs and they don't have strong convictions. Don't be fooled into that. They don't have strong beliefs. They don't have strong convictions. They follow whoever has the most influence. They follow whoever has the most strength, and being able to overpower them and overspeak them isn't hard because you see, they don't actually invest in anything. When you sit up and watch the folks who would dance to Luther Campbell and his Two Live Sleeves music, those were not people of strong character, people of strong principles.
I can't. Maybe we could do a part 2 to this, but I gotta stop this. I got to. My own mental health. I gotta stop it. Can't do it. I'm back. I'm gonna take a picture of the number. Maybe I'll come back to this. I'll watch this on my own on triple speed and see if it's something I missed. But otherwise than that, nah, I'm not doing that. Shout out to everybody in the building, especially because it's so late. So let's end on a more fun note. Let me see. Can y'all see can everybody see my screen? All right, somebody added me in this. This is Mark Lamar Hill, the bozo, sitting around here, me eating FBA. Let's get into this.
FBA, Foundational Black. When's the next event?
He just said, right? Oh, it's an ADOS holiday. It's an FBA holiday. You're not even up on the new talk. Not even new. FBAs don't identify as ADOS, and ADOS don't identify as FBA. If you somebody who's saying FBA and ADOS and you identifying as both of them, you just a grifter of all grifters. You a lame of all lames. And Juneteenth is not no FBA or ADOS holiday.
Not.
And also, isn't Mark Lamar Hill half Jamaican? Oh, that was funny. Yes, fulfillment by Amazon. FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. That's what it really stands for if you're going to be real. Yeah. Mark Lamar Hill sounding like a... Nah, Fahima, I think he's not trolling. He's not trolling. Mark Lamar Hill has been platforming and pushing ADOS and FBA for a very long time. Like, it's troubling. But yeah, he's been doing that for a very long time. He's been doing it for a very long time. This is not the first time he has done this. He's not trolling. He really means that. Like, it's disgusting. He's supposed to know better. And I think he's doing that for money and clout. I think he's trying to do the Sandy Darity. That's the best thing I could give him, is that he's doing the Sandy Darity. That's the best.
Let me ask you. When's the next event?
Yeah, that's enough. That person wanted me to see that. But yeah, that was dumb. I can't believe he even did that. Like, come on, even if it was a joke, you don't joke like that. That's the reason why we was on Sandy Darity bumper. Like, come on now. This is a hate cult. This is not a joke. This is not a game. But anyway, let me see what time it is. Wait, what time is it? Oh, yeah, it's super late. I got to get up early in the morning. Thank you to everybody who was rocking with me. I got to go. Before you go, family, make sure y'all go subscribe to my second channel. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all subscribe to my channel, that second channel. Y'all subscribe to this channel. Y'all hit the thumbs ups. Tomorrow, hopefully we can, not even tomorrow, it's today, we can hopefully start super early and we can touch on more stories. And let me shout out everybody who supported the stream. Shout out to Lee for coming through with the jewels. Also, Lee, shout out to you for hitting me on the Cash App. Family, you can do Cash App, PayPal. I take it all. Whole lot of ones, beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Shout out to RBG for the win for the $199. Again, a whole lot of ones, beat a whole lot of nuns. I'll catch everybody later. Hopefully we can do something last a little bit longer. Oh, thank you, Carlette. I love y'all too. Thank y'all for all y'all support. Thank y'all for all the fire emojis, people who supported with the fire emojis, people who supported with just comments in general, people hitting that reaction heart. All support is good support. And yeah, I'm going to end this here. Yeah, for him, he was platforming her a little too much and was not pushing back on her at all. But yeah, I'm out. Good night. See, good night, good evening, good morning, good everything. And yeah, shout out to you, AZ. Peace. And yeah, peace, everybody. Oh yeah, New York, stand up. We the champions. You already know the Knicks. We did it big. I said the Knicks was gonna win. I said I wanted to see the Knicks versus the Spurs, and I wanted it to go to Game 5 for revenge for what they did in '99. We did it. But yeah, on that note, family, peace.